In this video, I'll talk about some great news that came from the US government today that could potentially change Dogecoin forever. So, Timothy Ursich, a chiropractor and sports medicine specialist who is running for election for US Senate in the state of California, has proposed making Dogecoin a legal tender in a recent tweet. Ursich is calling on Dogecoin co-founder Billy Markus and Tesla CEO Elon Musk to support his campaign ahead of the June 7 primary. Some of the notable Democratic challengers also include tech mogul Dan O'Dowd, who wants to make computers safe for humanity, mathematician Akinyemi Agbed, and others. I really hope he wins and makes Doge a legal tender in California. That is going to be a huge deal for Dogecoin. Also, through his Twitter account on June 2, Markus termed all BSC tokens as garbage while taking an issue with BSC Gem, noting that it does not exist. He insinuated that BSC fails to meet the decentralized status while asserting that such a network should not exist. The computer scientist also observed that accounts hyping BSC Gem are either scam bots run by individuals he termed as a scumbag or an idiot. Moving on, while Binance has added a proof of assets wallet for Dogecoin on BNB chain, Dogecoin remains among the most popular smart contracts. Now, the Dogecoin community will be able to see that Doge on the BNB chain is indeed fully backed by the original meme crypto. Whale Stats platform has reported that Dogecoin is now among the top 10 most used smart contracts on the BNB chain. Apart from Dogecoin, this list includes Baby Doge and other altcoins. Now let's talk about some more news from the crypto market. So CoinSwitch, one of India's largest crypto exchanges, has established the country's first rupee-denominated crypto index. As per Ashish Singhal, co-founder of CoinSwitch, the CRE8 index would enhance the transparency of the Indian crypto market and establish a simple and handy gauge of its current health, allowing investors to make better informed decisions. Also, according to new data released by Dove Metrics, total venture capital investment in crypto declined 38.2% over the past month, from $6.8 billion in April to $4.7 billion in May, while surging 97.8% since last year. Data on investment distribution showed infrastructure companies received 21% of the pie, while decentralized finance startups accounted for 14%. Centralized finance and non-fungible token projects each accounted for 13%. Moving on, Kaleo, a pseudonymous analyst, said on Twitter that he expects Bitcoin's support of roughly 28K will hold until September. This will happen when Bitcoin will be broken and the price will fall all the way to 20K. Kaleo asserts that he is a simple, modest man whose ambitions are simple too. Yet he expects anything like this to happen in the next 6 to 9 months. He goes on to comment that it won't be just as vertical as the blue lines above or the arrow below, but I don't think it'll be too far off. Again, I'm not betting on a turnaround that leads to a new bullish trend. I'm looking at this as an optimistic range swing. Also, fast casual chain Chipotle Mexican Grill has begun accepting crypto payments through Flexa, a digital payments platform. Customers can pay for their burritos and other Tex-Mex favorites using Flexa at any Chipotle restaurant across the U.S. The Flexa platform supports 98 digital currencies, including Bitcoin and Solana. Customers must download the Gemini app, which store digital assets, to use Flexa for in-store purchases. Moving on, 23 agonizing days have passed since Bitcoin last closed above 32K, and the 10% rally that took place on May 29 and 30 is currently evaporating as Bitcoin price retraces toward 30K. The move back to 30K simply confirms the strong correlation to traditional assets, and in the same period, the S&P 500 also retreated 0.6%. Talking about data, a new survey conducted by financial services firm Block reveals Bitcoin enjoys higher appeal in countries with high inflation levels. The study by the Jack Dorsey-led financial services company finds Argentina saw the highest number of respondents who revealed they would purchase Bitcoin as a hedge against inflation. Argentina is followed by Nigeria and India, respectively. He said, "If we look at the share of people who say that protection against inflation is a good reason to buy Bitcoin, we see that it is strongly correlated with inflation rates by country, with Argentina leading the pack." Also, the new survey also says that Bitcoin's appeal is relatively higher in low-income countries, as well as countries that are heavily dependent on remittances. He then added, Countries with lower per capita GDP and higher shares of income from remittances have greater rates of people citing purchasing goods and services and sending money as good reasons to buy Bitcoin. Moving on, 26 leading professionals have rallied together to write and address a letter to Washington. The letter is against the adoption of cryptos, which Biden's government is largely favoring after it revealed that it is not planning on banning the assets. The letter addresses blockchain technology and its assets as a solution in search of a problem. Talking about analysis, Jason Pizzino, a popular trader and analyst, is hopeful about Bitcoin rally, which could be higher if the flagship crypto asset sustains the prevailing momentum. Pizzano said that Bitcoin would hit the higher highs after overcoming the key resistance levels, which currently Bitcoin is trading at $31,621 respectively. He said, "If we get above these resistance levels, consolidate and continue to move higher with higher highs and higher lows, then the next key level is 48K and the 52K levels." He further added to this saying Bitcoin requires much work to do at the lower levels, as we are getting too far ahead of ourselves to even contemplate getting to the high 40Ks or even low 50Ks. Bitcoin needs to overcome the first two resistance levels to reach the higher highs are 32,800 and 34,500 respectively. Also, an economic hurricane is on the horizon, JP Morgan CEO Jamie Dimon said at a Bernstein conference on Wednesday. He said, "You know, I said there's storm clouds, but I'm going to change it. It's a hurricane," he said, adding that the potential for an imminent economic recession requires preparation by banks. "You better brace yourself. JP Morgan is bracing ourselves, and we're going to be very conservative with our balance sheet. Right now, it's kind of sunny. Things are doing fine. Everyone thinks the Fed can handle this, that hurricane is right out there down the road coming our way. We just don't know if it's a minor one or Superstorm Sandy, or Andrew or something like that." And then there's another report. So a report published by The Economist paints a bright future for crypto adoption, with survey respondents anticipating growing demand in the near future. Information was gathered from a consumer survey completed by 3K consumers in early 2022, with half of the respondents living in developed economies, including the United States, United Kingdom, France, South Korea, Australia, and Singapore. The other half were respondents hailing from developing countries including Brazil, Turkey, Vietnam, South Africa, and the Philippines. And then, in a report on Tuesday, Morgan Stanley strategists noted that crypto startups received a record $30 billion from VC funding in 2021, representing 7% of all VC investments globally. According to the team, the massive inflow of venture capital into crypto firms last year, which peaked in December 2021, was triggered by bullish trends and excess US dollar liquidity. Although crypto VC funding has continued to flow into blockchain companies since the start of 2022 despite the bearish market sentiment, the strategists expect a 50% drop in such investments by the end of this year if the crypto industry matches the trends in other sectors. Also, a research report put together by Block Inc. and Wakefield Research shows a vast majority of individuals around the world have heard about Bitcoin and a few altcoins, but many still do not understand the workings of these innovative digital assets. So, this survey of 9,500 respondents in various regions including the Americas, Europe, the Middle East, Africa, and the Asia-Pacific finds that high-income earners in these jurisdictions see Bitcoin as an investment vehicle. On the other hand, respondents with less income see Bitcoin as a utility tool and payment network for more efficient and resilient money transfers. In the same vein, people living in war-torn zones and regions with hyperinflation and weaponized payment networks said they strongly believe in Bitcoin's future compared to those living in countries with relatively stable monetary and payment solutions. Also, United States-based insurers are the most interested in crypto investment according to a Goldman Sachs global survey of 328 chief financial and chief investment officers regarding their firm's asset allocations and portfolios. The investment banking giant recently released its annual Global Insurance Investment Survey, which included responses regarding cryptos for the first time, finding that 11% of U.S. insurance firms indicated either an interest in investing or a current investment in crypto. Goldman Sachs global head of insurance asset management, Mike Siegel, said he was surprised to get any result. He said, "We surveyed for the first time on crypto, which I thought would get no respondents, but I was surprised. A good 6% of the industry respondents indicated that they're either invested in crypto or considering investing in crypto." Also, a report from Jack Dorsey's block has concluded that Bitcoin will play an increasingly large role in the payment and remittance sectors, and that the more people's peers own Bitcoin, the more likely they are to invest. The findings, compiled in the report, were based on a survey conducted by the research firm Wakefield Research. The firm spoke to more than 9,500 adults in the Americas, Europe, the Middle East, Africa, and APAC counties in January this year, and had ensured it had included 100 Bitcoin owners per region. The report's authors concluded, people with lower incomes, regardless of where they live in the world, recognize Bitcoin's utility as a payments ecosystem, seeing it as a way to send remittances and buy goods and services. Coming back to Dogecoin, it is still trading sideways and currently stands at 8.2 cents. Even though the trading volume in the past 24 hours has decreased, I'm still optimistic because of all the good things happening for Doge.